I did address this before, but I just want to make it known so that you guys can know what it looks like. I do have a new mic setup. I'm not using it at this very moment right now though, but it's here, and I hope that it makes my content in the future a little bit better. A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 1984 one, not the 2010 debacle. You knew there had to be some Freddy Krueger on this list in this event that we're doing. We can't do 31 horror movies and not do at least one Nightmare on Elm Street. But we only are doing one Nightmare on Elm Street. Basically, though, the plot of Nightmare on Elm Street is that there's a bunch of kids, well, teenagers at this point, on Elm Street that suddenly start having all these nightmares about this guy with a beat-up old sweater and a hat and a glove with like knives on it. And they're all freaking out about it. Turns out that's Freddy Krueger. He's a dream demon who's kind of like it and likes to get people all nice and good and scared before he kills them, because it's what he likes to do. I mean, he does get his power from people being afraid of him, which is why he does it, but I guess for it, he just wants them to taste better. But it focuses on this girl named Nancy, and one by one, all of her friends start dying, including her boyfriend. And she's like, well, that's no good. But then everybody's like, well, we don't understand the concept of somebody in your dream trying to kill you. So you're a crazy person. We're just going to stick you in this hospital and try to figure out what's wrong with you. But she eventually comes up with a plan as to how to capture Freddy. It doesn't exactly work. And then you find out at the end that she kind of ends up in Freddy's custody, I guess. It's like, oh, well, this has all been a dream, so give me back my friends. And then she gets in the car with all of her friends, and then the top comes down and it's red and green striped the same way that Freddy's sweater is, and it's like, uh-oh, Freddy's got her. And then he grabs Nancy's mom and pulls her mannequin body through the window of the door. I will say, this movie has one of my favorite kills in all of horror movies. It's when Johnny Depp's character dies, and he's in bed, he falls asleep, and then Freddy's arm comes up and pulls him down into the bed, and it pulls in his TV, his record players, all of his stuff, and then suddenly like 10,000 gallons of blood shoot up out of the bed, and it's just like, now Fred Bear, where did all that blood come from? And that was not all in Johnny Depp's body in 1984. That doesn't make any sense. Explain this. And yeah, this movie is really corny and cheesy in a lot of different ways. I mean, the very first time you see him trying to scare somebody, he gets like super long arms, and it's like, alright, I guess this is what you do. But I mean, it's the dream world, and he reigns supreme in the dream world. He can do whatever he wants, shapeshift however he feels like it. But it's like, I respect the commitment to just the ridiculousness of the premise itself. So they definitely leaned into how silly this concept was, and it ended up working out really well. But like, man, and it's not even just a problem of the practical effects, because the practical effects are great. I don't have a problem with that. It's just weird. That's really all it is that it's just strange when you're looking at it. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something that you notice. Now, much like any good horror movie from the 70s or 80s, this thing kind of spawned a franchise, and it went on a little too long, but don't worry about that. We're not here to talk about the entire franchise, and in fact, I'm only doing one more movie this month that has Freddy in it. If you can guess what it is, go ahead and tell me in the comments what you think it's going to be. But, oh man, I like 3. I like Dream Warriors. That's a good movie. But I mean, this movie's got a lot to like. It's got plenty of charm. Robert Englund is charismatic as ever as Freddy Krueger. I completely forgot Freddy's name. But the thing about that is that, like, even as the franchise went on and got more tired, beat down, and run down, Robert was always at the top of his game, and it just kind of tricks you into thinking that the other movies are good, but we don't have to talk about that part. Johnny Depp is in it, like I mentioned earlier, so that's cool. A lot of the acting on, like, the part of the kids, though, was... it's just a bit strange, even on the part of Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's a great actor. I think he's really good. But this is not his best performance whatsoever. I don't think any of the kids give that good a performance, except for maybe Tina at the beginning when she's getting killed. Yeah, she sounds like she's getting killed, alright, but like, any of the other characters is just like, man. Now, there's also Now that I think about it, quite a bit of like coincidence that happens towards the beginning of the movie. I mean, it's not such a bad thing, but now that I'm remembering it is kind of annoying. We don't have to don't worry about that part. But Nightmare on Elm Street has become a mainstay in horror cinema. It's a classic. It's pretty much timeless at this point, and it's all for very good reason. The movie definitely deserves a spot in history. And with all that being considered, I actually really do think that A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original one from 1984, is worth buying on Blu-ray. I rented it for the purpose of this review so I could, have all the information fresh in my head. I don't want to review as... I probably will review some of these movies from memory just because it's easier on my wallet to do so. But this one, I really did not mind watching again. It's been a while since I've seen it. And if you haven't seen it in a while, I definitely recommend checking it out again, And if you've never seen it, sorry I spoiled some things for you, but, this movie is 36 years old, so I don't feel so bad. With all that out of the way, Friday the 13th on Elm Street, 1984. Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Whatever you think, comment below and educate me. As always, for more videos from me, you know what to do.